What up? It's your boy Tunnel Vision. We back for another one. Kind of busy. Gotta go handle some things. But let me do this video real quick, even though it's dark as hell. Yo, Teofimo Lopez versus Comey tonight. Fight with a lot of ramifications. Whoever wins this fight puts themselves into a space where they can fight for unification with two other belts on the line, with 3 belts on the line. It won't be for undisputed, but it'll still be for 3 belts on the line, and it'll still be versus what's considered one of the top, pound for pound fighters in the world in Lomachenko. What do I personally think about the fight? To me, it's just one of those fights where it's kind of sketchy to me, just because there's been a lot of funny business that's been going on when it's come to boxing, especially this year, in a lot of different situations. So it's kind of like, you don't know what to think about it. I think this also could be one of those situations. Also, let's be real. The matchup that, Top Rank's going to want to set up, the match that ESPN's going to want to set up, and they're going to want to see is going to be Teofimo Lopez versus Lomachenko. Due to that, I think Comey is going into this fight a couple of rounds down. I think it's a type of bout where he's going to have to be substantially dominant, or he's just going to have to stop Teofimo Lopez in order to win this fight. I don't really see him winning a decision at all. I don't see it happening. It's going to be tough. As far and we know how tough that boy is, though. You know what I'm saying? Especially when we've seen him fight before. We know how tough he can be. We know how durable he can be. We know how strong he can be. But can he just take it to that next level? That next level that dominates someone to the point where it's undeniable. You know what I'm saying? That he's king in that ring. As far as Teofimo Lopez, his last fight, he wasn't his dominant self. He didn't just, flatline this guy in the way that we thought he was going to do. You know what I'm saying? Especially like early, the way he's been doing it. So it kind of pushed into a situation where, what exactly, what's he going to look like? Because he's taking a huge jump up when it comes to the level of skill that he's going to be facing. But, he said he had some problems going on with his family or whatever. And, I would believe that could happen. That definitely could be something that could have been an issue. And also he's young. You're going to learn. You're going to go through trials and tribulations as you move up in levels of competition. So you can't necessarily go by that fight. You don't know. When it comes to these young guys, I don't like saying that, these guys are necessarily going to be all great or they're going to be trash, and that's not always, because you never know. You got to just let them continue to go up the ladder and see what happens. And as they get put into different situations, see what other skills they have. You know what I'm saying? See what other things that they can do. Kind of like Floyd, when Floyd went up against Janelle Hernandez, people like he was crazy. It was too early. He wasn't skilled enough. He needed more seasoning. He needed more fights. And he goes there and dominates that fight. You know what I'm saying? And takes that belt against a guy who was ranked, I think, like top number 7 pound for pound, one of the best fighters in the world. And it was the number 1 guy in the division. Right after that, he's fighting against Manfredi, and people say, like, yo, he's crazy. Okay, you won that fight. Are they stupid? Like, why would they put him in there against somebody like Manfredi? But we see what happened with Manfredi. He just blew him out the frame. And then once he took on like a Diego Corrales, a fight that most people thought he was going to lose, including his own father, and the way he beat the bricks out that man and stopped him, you know what I'm saying? RIP to the man. Once he did that, it was kind of like, okay, this guy's for real. But even then, they still had questions. He's not going to be able to fight slick fighters, or pressure fighters, or big fighters, guys that are younger than him, or stronger than him. I mean, it was always something. But but with guys this young, you never know. Like Devin Haney, they'll compare him to Floyd, and I was like, don't compare him to Floyd. Let this guy just live his own legacy, and let's just see as he maturates and see what turns out as he blossoms. And then he has a fight. His last fight goes 12 rounds, and people are like, he's overhyped. And I'm like, because now comparing him to this high standard that he shouldn't even be compared to. You're comparing him against probably the best fighter to ever fight in the world, the most complete fighter to ever fight in the history of this game. Don't do that. Let them build their own legacies. So it's because of all the situations, kind of hard to pick winner for a fight like this. So this one, I'm just gonna sit back. I'm gonna chill. I'm gonna relax. I'm gonna watch. You know what I'm saying? I like both fighters. You know what I mean? I will, I'm edging a little bit towards Comey. You know what I mean? But Teofimo Lopez, you know what I'm saying? Yes, I'm not really cool with some of his family stuff, but it pertains to his father. But you know what I mean? He's a young kid. He's living his dream, man. He put in the work, blood, sweat, and tears, and this is opportunity to see, to show the world what he's made of, and believes in himself. Got the cojones to step into, this. This shouldn't, well, it shouldn't be an easy fight. This should be a tough fight, man. This should be a real tough fight. And out of all the young contenders, he will be facing the hardest competition of all the young contenders. Devin Haney hasn't faced his level of competition, which is not his fault because Loma didn't want to fight him. And then when it came to Shakur Stevenson, the guy he was supposed to fight, dropped that belt, moved up in weight. So, it is what it is. But out of all of them, especially those three, Spencer, he ain't really faced that level. Even a Jagba. I would say out of all the little young dudes, this is the guy. He's taking on the toughest competition with this fight. So we'll see what happens with it. Now, when it comes to Terence Crawford, this is going to be short. Terence Crawford, he's a beast. When he can fight orthodox, he can switch to that southpaw stance. He can beat you up to the body. He can go up top. He uses his height. He uses his length. And he just, I think it's just going to be a situation where he just breaks down Mean Machine and maybe stops him late. We're gonna have to see, how durable Mean Machine is. Don't remember what his name is. I'm not gonna try to pronounce that dude's name. But the only thing with guys like that is sometimes when in a situation like this and they're getting the title fights, they train harder than they've ever trained before in their lives. They bring a package that they've never brought before in their lives, a la Andy Ruiz versus Anthony Joshua in their first fight. You know what I mean? So that could be kind of that type of situation. So if people that are thinking that he might just blow him out and knock him out in 1-2 rounds, he could do that. He could do that. He's on that much higher level than this guy, but it also gonna be a thing where it lasts a little bit longer. You know what I mean? Terence Crawford, he's not necessarily just stopping and knocking dudes out super early in rounds like he was starting to be capable of doing at 140 pounds. 147 is not necessarily the case, but he usually still breaks guys down and stops them late. So I'm thinking this might be that fight mid-rounds, but I don't see this going 12 rounds. I just think there's just too large of a discrepancy when it comes to level of skill. We can talk all about, Terence Crawford when it comes to, his business, when it comes to his business mind and the business decisions that he's made. But when it comes into that ring and it comes to the level of skill he has, we can't say none about that. That boy got skills, and he definitely can take on anyone, and he can beat anyone at 140 pounds, at 147 pounds. So I go up to 154, 160. Yeah. But where he's at right now, absolutely. He's that skilled. So I expected him to have another, easy breezy victory. You know what I'm saying? Like Bo Max said, why not make $3.5 million fighting bums? Those ain't my words. Those are Bo Max words. But good luck to everybody at the end of the day. I hope everybody's healthy. You know what I'm saying? Walks out that ring and goes back to their families in one piece, the same way they came out. You know what I mean? And that's what it is. Like, subscribe, share. I'm out.